Today, me and Uncle Zerk are going to be platinuming Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Key using only white gear, making the cute, short, succulent DLC into an absolute nightmare. We both chose Zero to start our playthrough, and in any normal Tina fashion, not even 5 minutes in, she confronts us with our first boss. He kinda reminds me of how Zerk used to look like as a kid, short and wide. After killing Mr. Boner Pants guy, we got our first trophy. We couldn't get too comfortable though, because later in the video, it took hours just to get one trophy. While we were looking for a chest for a trophy, Zerk died to a filthy old rot golem. So in turn, I used my invisibility and caressed him, bringing him back to life. We headed over to Flame Rock Refuge and get told we have to save the queen, Butt Stallion, from her fate of the evil sorcerer. We head off into the forest, and while using our poopy gray guns, I got to level 5, for the first time being a higher level than Zerk. This game was giving us so many hints not to do this challenge, like giving us some of the best world drops right off the bat, and showing us how long it would take just to kill some enemies. They knew what was coming. We went over to rescue Roland, and once we killed the 3 dragons surrounding him, we got our favorite cosmic brownie back. After saving Roland, we headed over to fight the 4 Ghost Kings, and right at the beginning of it, Zerk pulled 5 swords out of skeletons, giving us our 5th trophy. Leveling up in this was crucial. We had to suck the game's XP out dry, bringing us to level 10. This was easy, but later on in the video, things took a massive turn, and we weren't leveling up at all. Traveling our way around the complicated ass cave system, and completing a bunch of puzzles, we headed over to Hatred's Shadow, where right near the beginning, before we enter the castle, I go over to this little cave and kill the darkness for an easy missable trophy. This first playthrough was relatively easy, but later on, this game wasn't going to be so forgiving. Finding our way through the castle, we get greeted with the handsome sorcerer's dragon for a long but easy fight. After killing the dragon, the sorcerer sends us to the dungeon. This map is the most stupid, confusing bullshit map in the game. The only real cool thing down here was Face McShooty, so this time Micah shot him. In the midst of finding the sorcerer's daughter, we meet this traveler who offers us an amulet, so instead of punching him in the face, we bought the amulet from him. After buying that amulet, we headed over to kill the sorcerer's daughter, which again was pretty easy, but this easy was not going to last much longer. Once she deceased, we headed over to the handsome sorcerer's arena, where he had 3 phases, the first of which, he creates clones of himself like the base game, but here, Micah's boar came in clutch, one-shotting him into phase 2. And here is where reality hits. Our gray guns had a drastic fall off. It took us easily 10 minutes just to get him into phase 3. Once we killed the sorcerer, we went over to Queen Butt Stallion's chambers to save her, and there we have it, we beat the game. But this wasn't even close to the end. We had a very long and dreadful journey ahead of us. First off, we headed back to Flame Rock Refuge and got a few trophies out of the way and fast. We headed over to our glorious queen and shoved some iridium down her throat, pooping out loot and a trophy. And just like in Borderlands 2, I went over to Earl and got 5 upgrades. Once again, claiming 20 badass tokens. And lastly, for firing the Ludopult. After doing those few at Flame Rock Refuge, we headed over to the forest, where I got Zero's action skill trophy, just to get it out of the way. Now, while we were progressing our way through doing all the side quests in the game, we found ourselves in the caves, where I rolled a pair of dices and got a 20. This was incredibly lucky. In the middle of Claptrap's magic wand side quest, I gave him his staff, which reminded me I had some skins I needed to unlock to get another trophy pop. Now, since there was a trophy for having purple rarity loot or higher in every slot in my inventory, we had to pick up but not use the purple and legendary gear. After putting it all on, we got a trophy pop. Now this was about it being super easy. After a few more trophies came the worst one of them all. That took days. Up next on our list is get to level 25. And let me remind you, we're only allowed to use gray drops, and this made the process of leveling up and killing people feel almost impossible. Hours and hours go by, but finally after 9 hours of playing, at midnight, me and Zerk got to level 25. But this wasn't the end. The final challenge was reaching level 35. While in the circle of slaughters, I got extremely lucky. The 0.5% chance of a chubby spawning spawned, and I begged Zerk to let me kill it, so I wouldn't have to farm him later on. After that chubby, we finished all the circle of slaughters, including the badass one, giving us a trophy pop. Now for the trophy I've been talking about since the beginning of the video, for reaching max level. After 2 whole, long, dreadful 12-hour days of non-stop slaughterhouses over and over, I finally got to level 35 doing this stupid shit fucking ass pathetic challenge. After that, we headed over to playthrough 1 and went to the raid boss, which was honestly pretty easy considering we were 14 levels over. Once we killed him, we got a trophy. And another one, just for handing in the final quest. Sadly, our least favorite trophy made its return. We had to complete all the badass challenges again, but luckily, they were drastically reduced in terms of what we had to do. Now, instead of leveling each character up by ourselves, we decided to go into each other's games and power level each other up, making this dumb game slightly better knowing we were almost done. So there's one from Maya, Salvador, Krieg, Gage, and Axton. And finally, the Platinum Trophy. Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. Consider liking and subscribing to my YouTube channel to see if we beat this challenge. Bye! Whack.